I'm going to try to win Connor McDavid a Stanley Cup, but there's one problem: he's dropped to a 36 overall. And on top of that, every single player in the league is now back in their prime. So it's safe to say things aren't going to be easy for Connor McDavid and the Oilers. But don't worry, because before every single season, we're going to be spinning a challenge wheel, and the first challenge is going to be pretty tough for this Oilers team, as they have to make the playoffs. Without Connor McDavid in his prime, the Edmonton Oilers would be a shell of their former self, finishing with a 37-41-4 record, 27th in the entire league. And at 36 overall, it shouldn't really be too much of a surprise. Connor McDavid was not that guy this season. 9 goals and 1 assist for only 10 points. Thankfully, each season we're going to get a chance to save McDavid's career by spinning this wheel, and the first upgrade for him is going to be a massive one, as he's going to be able to max out one attribute. And after maxing out his offensive awareness and applying the additional 10 upgrades to his passing, McDavid's moving up to a 46 overall. But I don't think a 46 overall is going to be enough to complete this next challenge, because we got to be a top 5 team in the league. And right now, this team can't even make the playoffs. The upcoming season for the Edmonton Oilers would be an absolute disaster. Although Connor McDavid had a better year, the team's not looking any better, finishing with a 33-44-5 record, and they're second last in the entire league. Can somebody explain to me how McDavid got better, but yet the team got worse? That doesn't make sense to me. And as I said earlier, McDavid's having a better season this year, 8 goals and 18 assists for 26 points. He's slowly moving up the ranks. But you know who doesn't have to worry about improving? The Winnipeg Jets, because they've now taken home back-to-back Stanley Cups, and this team's an absolute powerhouse in the league. As we know though, McDavid's a different type of beast, and he's always going to be putting in work during the offseason, and this time around he's getting a plus 25 to his slap shot accuracy and power. Alongside McDavid's shooting upgrades, he's also gained 26 additional upgrade points, and now he's up to a 52 overall. The next challenge might seem impossible for a 52 overall, but we have Connor McDavid with maxed out offensive awareness and 94 passing, so 50 assists might not be unreachable. But there's clearly one thing that is unreachable for this team: the postseason, as this team's going to be frauds once again, 37, 39, and 6, and 26th in the entire league. Eventually they're going to get things figured out, but I don't know what it's going to take. Although he's only a 52 overall, Connor McDavid's proven he can still be a solid player in the league, as he's picked up 8 goals and 31 helpers this season for 39 points. The next upgrade that Connor McDavid's going to be receiving is one of the best he possibly could have gotten, and that's going to be a plus 3 overall boost. With all those additional upgrades, we're going to see Connor McDavid going from a 52 overall to a 58. Our next spin on the challenge wheel is finally going to be achievable for Connor McDavid, as he has to record 30 assists this season. But that might be easier said than done, because the Edmonton Oilers refuse to take the next step. They're finishing with a 34-40-8 record this season, missing the playoffs once again. I guess this team's going to continue to sit at the bottom of the league until McDavid gets back into his prime. But after all the constant disappointment, we finally have some good news, as Connor McDavid's going to be finishing second on the team with 47 points. But the best part about those 47 points, 32 of them are assists, so Connor McDavid's finally completing his first challenge of the video. Meanwhile, if you wonder what's been going on in the postseason, Winnipeg's reign of terror has ended. But now it's Carolina's reign of terror, as they've won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and between them and Winnipeg, they've claimed the first 4. With McDavid finally completing a challenge, somebody else on the team's going to be getting an upgrade, and it's going to be Jack Campbell. And the good luck's going to continue, because on the goaltending wheel, we're getting the best possible upgrade, which is a plus 5 overall boost. So Jack Campbell, he's moving up from an 85 to a 90, and he's solidified himself as the number 1 guy here. What McDavid could really use is some upgrades across the board, but instead of that, he's getting plus 25 to his wrist shot power and accuracy. After everything was all said and done, McDavid's jumping up 8 overalls, and the Edmonton Oilers might be able to compete for a wild card spot this season. And we're going to need that, because we have to finish as a top 10 team this season. And what happened next with this Oilers team is something no one would have expected. The team sucked once again, 37, 38, and 7, 25th in the entire league. Who would have saw that one coming? Oh, everyone? It's a tough world we live in. After all the upgrades McDavid received, we're actually seeing him take a step back this season. 18 goals, 28 assists, 46 points, 3rd on the team in scoring. Nah, that's ridiculous. 46 points and you're 3rd on the team? The rest of these guys got to step up. McDavid, I don't even think it's your fault anymore. So what we really need here is a plus 10 to every single attribute, but instead we're getting plus 10 to only senses. Although this upgrade specifically isn't going to be helping McDavid, the other attribute he's going to be upgrading is going to be defensive awareness, and through maxing that out, McDavid's up to a 77 overall. But first, we got to see what the challenge is for the upcoming season, and that's McDavid picking up 50 goals. Somehow the small defensive upgrade from McDavid completely changed the outcome of this season. The Oilers are finishing with a 52, 22, and 8 record. Not only are they making the playoffs, but they're second in the entire league. I definitely didn't see that one coming. It might not be a high goal scoring campaign for McDavid, but he's still putting up some solid numbers for a 77 overall, 22 goals and 46 assists for 68 points. That's going to be some massive upgrades for him, but all that matters is what you can do in the postseason. And it's not going to be an easy postseason for the Edmonton Oilers. Not only are they going to have to take on the Vegas Golden Knights, but this team's got a ton of players back in their prime. Heading into this series, the Edmonton Oilers were the clear favorites, and everyone had them taking out the Vegas Golden Knights. But there was one issue. The Vegas Golden Knights have Phil the Thrill Kessel, and he's going to dominate alongside Jack Eichel, picking up goal after goal, and the Vegas Golden Golden Knights are going to be taking down the Edmonton Oilers in a 5-game series. And during this series, McDavid would be absolutely non-existent on offense, picking up only 3 goals in 5 games. But don't worry, because I can guarantee McDavid's production is going to be increasing because he's getting the best upgrade possible, plus 20 to 2 attributes in every category. Finally, after the constant disappointment and countless failures of this Oilers team, McDavid's ready to take over. He's jumping all the way up to a 90 overall, and he's ready to take over the NHL. And of course, with him finally being up to a 90 overall, we're going to get one of the easiest challenges possible, which is recording 50 points. You're telling me we couldn't have got this like 3 years ago? No, 3 years ago we had to finish top 10 in the entire league. Now he has to record 50 points as a 90 overall. The challenge wheel is really McDavid's ops. With McDavid reaching a 90 overall and the Edmonton Oilers finally looking like a top team in the entire league, how are they going to perform during this season? Well, they're going to go out like a bunch of frauds, 42, 35, and 5, 16th in the entire league, and miss the playoffs. Ain't no way you missed the playoffs when McDavid was a 90 overall, but made it when he was a 77. Because not only did he record 50 points, he had 52 goals and 45 assists for 97 points. He led the Oilers team in points, and they still couldn't even make the playoffs. I'm so done with this team. In the past 2 postseasons, we've seen the Colorado Avalanche and Boston Bruins match up against each other. Last season, the Colorado Avalanche were coming out on top, winning the Stanley Cup, but this time around, we're going to see the Boston Bruins take it home. With McDavid completing the challenge of recording 50 points, someone else on this team is getting an upgrade, and I'm going with number 6, and that's Ryan McLeod. And the upgrade McLeod's getting is going to be a massive help to this team because we need to start scoring more goals, and he's getting plus 10 to all of his shooting attributes. So he's now moving up to an 82 overall, and he's going to be holding it down on the 3rd line. As we know, McDavid had a terrific season, and he's going to be rewarded for that, and after all the upgrades, he's moving up to a 93 overall. With McDavid getting close to his peak, we're not going to have too many spins on the challenge wheel left. But thankfully, with this potential final spin, we're going to have a realistic challenge for McDavid to complete, which is recording 100 points. With the constant failure of this Edmonton Oilers team, it's time for Connor McDavid to take over, and he's going to be leading the way. He's leading Edmonton to a 45, 25, and 12 record, which is going to be good enough for 8th in the entire league, and he's also going to be leading the team with 40 goals and 51 assists for 91 points, so sadly, he's not going to be completing his challenge, but at least Edmonton's making the postseason. Compared to the last time Edmonton made the postseason, the matchup in the first round for them is going to be much easier, as they have the Vancouver Canucks. And respectfully, even with everyone on Vancouver back in their prime, the Oilers should be able to handle them. But I might have potentially spoke too soon, because the young guns in Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, Quinn Hughes, and Kuzmenko are going to come out flying in this series. They're going to be battling with the top guns in Edmonton, and they're not giving them an inch. And when this series came to a close, Vancouver would be coming out on top in a 7-game series, and Edmonton's falling in the first round once again. McDavid's done with the disappointment. One last shot. He's back in his prime, and he's actually better than his prime. He's 1 overall higher, so he's got one last shot. One last chance to lead this team to a Stanley Cup. And honestly, let's just hope they can make the playoffs, because with how things have been going, I think that's even a risk for this team. With McDavid at the helm and leading the way for this team, it should be no surprise that they're going to be making the playoffs. But how good were they? Not that great. 44, 30, and 8, 10th in the entire league. You have a better version of McDavid, and you could only finish 10th. Nah, this team's cooked, respectfully. However, there's something different going on this season, because McDavid's on a different type of timing. 41 goals, 62 assists, 103 points, the most points he's recorded in a season since this video started. He's going to do whatever he has to in order to get this team a Stanley Cup. But there's one issue. There's a former foe in his way, and he goes by the name of Phil the Thrill Kessel, as once again the Edmonton Oilers are going to have to match up against the Vegas Golden Knights in the first round. But this time, Edmonton's ready. McDavid knew if he wanted a chance at winning a Stanley Cup with the Edmonton Oilers, he would have to carry the weight for this team. And that's exactly what he did. He would dominate in the first round, picking up 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points, and with Draisaitl at his side, it was only a matter of time before they got past the first round. But once again, it's the dark horse coming out on top, Phil the Thrill Kessel and Jack Eichel. This dynamic duo could not be stopped. Phil the Thrill and Jack Eichel were just too much for them to handle, and the Vegas Golden Knights will once again be taking this team down in the first round in 6 games. So even with the entire Edmonton Oilers roster in their prime, McDavid better than ever, this team still couldn't get out of the first round. Not gonna lie, McDavid, you might want to pack your bags and head over to the St. Louis Blues. CBTM.